how you doing? Did you miss me? Absolutely you did. Actually missed you. It's your favorite girl, Rachel K. Welcome to tonight's show. It's gonna be amazing. Super amazing because I'm with someone I love. I know you can't wait to meet that person. How are you doing? How's the new year coming? Have you made resolutions? Are you following those resolutions? Do you have plans on ground? Are you following them? Don't give up because those plans are definitely going to come true in this beautiful year. What do we stand for? We stand to inspire and empower you to succeed at Ladies with Stories. We do that through sharing stories of abusers, challenges, failures, success, with the aim of ensuring that every woman succeeds. I haven't said that. Just smile a little. Because we're going to bring our guest on. So please make welcome our guest for tonight. Our very beautiful, amazing, wonderful, yummy auntie. Please, a round of applause as we make welcome Gloria Bavosia. Woo! Thank you for having us in your place. It's been 3 years of wanting to record you, and I'm so glad today I have to be here. I'm here. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. I've been dying to have this interview, because of my health, and I'm glad I'm strong enough to do this now.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. How did your journey start? We really want to know much about your journey. Okay, guys, so Auntie Gloria is a cancer survivor. Multiple cancer survivors with so much history and stories that will amaze you. So let's all pay attention as we listen to her story, how the journey started. Thank you, guys.
Wow. 14 years ago, I saw discoloration on my breast. And I was wondering what it was because I didn't know what it was. It was not painful. So I went to the hospital, and that was just how my journey started. I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And at that time, I thought breast cancer was something that I could handle because just like a headache or fever, you handle it by yourself. So I decided not to tell my family members because they were not around. I decided not to tell my friends. And at the time that I started, I found out the hard way that there is no way, no how that you can handle cancer by yourself. And I don't know if you know, Good Cutting Ben Sabi retired. He owns BBS Hotel in Bandawa. At that time, he was actually the one I was talking to about everything, and he kept insisting that I should tell my family. And I was like, I don't want to stress them because I actually didn't want to stress them. But at a point when, he got scared. When you start chemotherapy and radiation, you start losing weight, you start, like throwing up and all that. He got scared and called my mom himself. And that was how my family found out. And they've been supportive ever since. Through everything I've been through, they have been there. So the journey, that was how my journey started with breast cancer.
Okay, and subsequently, what else did you diagnose after the breast cancer? Did it spread or it stopped there?
Well, it actually stopped. After the treatment, I was fine for like 18 months. Everything went well. And then I started having serious stomach pain. I had ulcer, so I thought it was the same thing. I thought it was ulcer, so I was taking Translicate non-stop. I was finishing bottles and nothing changed. So when I went to the hospital, and that was when I was told that they were sorry. After a lot of tests, biopsy and all that, they told me that I had intestinal cancer, which didn't make any sense, at that time. And when I was supposed to start the treatment, Shika, they went on strike. So I had to look for alternative. Some were saying go to India, and then some were saying, why don't you just come to America, my family. I actually wanted to go to America, but by the time I checked Methodist Hospital, their price in Houston, their price was, it's like we're going to sell the whole ancestors to take care of my bill. So I started looking for other options. And then my cousin is in Dubai, Fatih, and she was like, okay, there's this hospital I go to, and I think you should also try it. I know hospitals here. So she introduced me to somebody that there's this GMC hospital in Ajman. There are Nigerians that work there as agents. If a Nigerian is coming in, maybe for better understanding of the language or culture or whatever. So, and she introduced me to somebody called Abu, and Abu was able to help me. We got to Dubai, got what was necessary. Like for the breast cancer, my immediate family took care of my bills 100%. With the intestinal cancer, I started, but you know how cancer is. My immediate younger brother Gideon paid. They needed around 5.8 million.
Wow.
And he paid immediately. He was like, as long as you are going to stay alive, we need you here. So I did that. I was there for a very long time with my daughter. Then she was just a kid. And when I got better, I came back and recovered here in Nigeria. While I was recovering, I mean, nothing strange. You know how after surgeries and treatment, you now, you know, your body changes, your appetite changes, everything about your life changes. So I didn't feel anything funny. I just noticed that my stomach was swelling. So I thought maybe it's a side effect of the treatment that I was just coming from. After everything, I was fine. My stomach was swelling. I noticed, and if I notice anything about my body, I rush to the hospital. I don't wait, and that's a mistake a lot of people make. If as a man or as a woman, you know how your body is, you know how you feel. So anytime you feel any discomfort, just run to the hospital. Don't say it can be. Don't say it's nothing. Yeah, let the doctor be the one to tell you that it's nothing. Don't be the one to assume that it's nothing. So I rushed to the hospital, and I was told to go and do a lot of everything I was told to do had to do with liver. And at that time, I think I became really depressed because
based on the news of the liver, or the sickness made you depressed?
Both. The news of the liver made me depressed, and then the fact that I was not okay. You know, sometimes after treatment, you just want to be okay. It's like I never had a break. I think that was what depressed me more, because I never had a break. And it didn't make any sense to me that we don't have a history. From my mother's side, we don't have a history, because I had to find out why is this happening. So I found out that from my father's side, we don't have a history of cancer. From my mother's side, we don't have a history. So I was like, okay, if I've had two so far, so why am I the one, you know, having all this? And you know, like I was first diagnosed at a very, let me say, young age, because I when I read about cancer, I heard you have to be like 55 and above and all that. Then I was like 35, so I was wondering what the whole drama was all about. And then when the whole result came back, liver.
Wow.
Yeah, liver cancer, not just liver. And then at that time, I was beating myself. Not that people were beating me. I was actually the one beating myself, because it didn't make any sense. I was a single mother. I had a child. I was raising a child. She was only 9 months old when I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So like all her life, she has seen me sick, and I just needed a break. But then, you know, my immediate family didn't give up on me. They immediately started asking questions. Okay, what are we going to do? And then the beautiful thing about this whole thing is that my family members got in touch with the hospital in Dubai. Okay, what are we going to do? Because the option of hospitals here at that time the whole hospitals were on strike. And at that time, they asked me to do an MRI. It's only in the whole Nigeria. It was only Abuja then, National Hospital, that were doing MRI. And the queue was long, ridiculous. So the only option was to go back to the hospital that has been helping me, which is the GMC, and went back, and they took care of me. I came back. I was okay for like 3 years, as in I was taking my medication and I was getting better. And my life, I went back to my life. Everything was fine. And you know, sometimes it's not actually the cancer itself, or it's not the sickness itself that affects a human being. It's actually the people around you and what they say that affect.
Actually,
like in my own case, it was not the cancer itself. You know, yeah, okay, at that point I had 3 cancers, and then I came back. And then when I came back, I had 3 good years, and then I fell ill again. This time it was my stomach. I had so many openings in my stomach at the same time. It was like having like 1,000 pimples on my stomach, and it didn't make any sense. So I was like, at that time I was wondering what it was, and I had fever. I'm never hot. I think it had to do with my immune system. After I fell ill, something went wrong somewhere that I don't get hot. So usually it's when I faint, they take me to the hospital, or when I'm in so much pain, they rush me to the hospital that I know there's something wrong. And then that was 2017, which was, I think, the worst year of my life, because I think I was home only for maybe 11 weeks of the year. All the rest I was in the hospital. And while I was in the hospital, there was, of course, a lot of rumor going on. People will come and see me in the hospital, or people will come home and see me at home, and then some, I call them yam heads, will go and be saying things about me that doesn't even make any sense. And it was even the psychological problems that I was going through more than the illness itself. And at the end of the day, my doctor in Dubai asked me, Dr. Ahmed is his name, he asked me for a list of things that he wanted me to do. So I went to 44, their machine then was not working. They asked me to go to another place. So I went to EchoScan here in Kaduna. They asked me that I should go to EchoScan in Abuja area 11, that they have an office there. So they described it for me. So I went there and I did everything he asked me to do there. And then I sent it to him, coming to find out that the reason why my stomach was acting up like that was because I had stomach cancer.
Outside the liver cancer.
Oh yeah, and the stomach, what I showed you earlier was part of the stomach cancer acting up. And when the stomach cancer started, like I said, I mean the pain, every cancer that comes, I'll say, when it was breast cancer, I'm like, there's no pain like it will. Breast cancer is the worst thing that has ever happened to me. Then when the liver started, I say, this one, I bow to this one. This one is the worst thing that has ever happened. And then I thought that was it. The intestinal cancer, then the liver cancer, and then when the stomach cancer came, unfortunately, the stomach cancer came, and at the same time, I was having these banging headaches. At the same time that I was diagnosed with stomach cancer. And I was using glasses then. So I've been using glasses for like 20 years. So at that time, my glasses were not working for me. So I'll go to the hospital, they will change my lens to fit the eyes, and then maybe within 3 weeks, I will still have a problem. So then a family friend now asked me to go to National Eye Center. So when he took me to, he directed me, I went to National Eye Center. They now directed me to Dr. Ibrahim Achi, that I should see him. It was a priest that took me there to see Dr. Ibrahim Achi. Now the test that Dr. Ahmed asked me to do for him included the brain and MRI for the brain, the stomach, the chest. So for the brain, he had already seen something and told me, but I had not told anybody, not even my daughter at that point. So when I went to see Dr. Ibrahim Achi, he now looked at everything, and then he now asked me, the person that took me was a priest. So, and the priest was playing with his phone while I was talking to Dr. Ibrahim. He was asking me some questions. He looked at my eyes very well. And then he now turned to me in front of the priest and asked, so how long have you had the tumor in your head? And then the priest dropped the phone.
There's something like that.
He knew I had stomach cancer, but he didn't know, nobody knew about the brain. So he was wondering why the person that brought me, and it's true that I got there, was surprised. Then I laughed. I said, because nobody knows. Even him, he didn't know. And then he now looked at me like, you've been carrying something on your head and people around you don't know. I said, no, because it's just too much. I just wanted time. I didn't know the eyes had to do with the brain tumor. If not, maybe I'll have said something. But I was just wondering why my eyes were not working with the glasses he was giving me. I mean, the hospital was giving me, and that's all. And then it was from there that he was like, okay, because already Dr. Ahmed, I had gone to Dubai because of the test and all that. And I just came back from Dubai. So Dr. Ahmed had told me that there's nothing, even in Dubai or anywhere else, that they can do for me.
Wow.
The position of the brain tumor, if they touch it, I will die. And it's like 85% chance I will die than the 15%. So he advised me not to touch it and not to allow anybody to touch it. So when I came back, some doctors that wanted to experiment were like, there's something they can do about it and all that. I'm a single mother, what do you think? I said no. And it got me in trouble with some of the doctors there because they felt they wanted to help me. If you want to help me stay here, not help me die. So my doctor in Dubai placed me on steroids for a lifetime. Wow. I take steroids every day. When the head gets too extreme, they give me, Dr. Kola manages everything that I've been going through. He has been my doctor for 26 years and he has been managing me very well in Nigeria. So whenever the pain is extreme, if you hear that I'm in Al-Mansur, it's Dr. Kola that takes care of me. It's more like a big brother. If I sneeze now, everybody, like my family, is Dr. Kola aware? Have you called Dr. Kola? Everybody will start calling him Dr. Kola. Now, sometimes, even if I'm having crisis, I don't know, for some reason, network doesn't work. So I will just put it on Facebook. Please help me call Dr. Kola. I'm having crisis, I'm home alone. Sometimes I'll just say I'm home alone. If I can't get anybody, sometimes it does that, where I'm in crisis and I have neighbors that can help me, but I can't get anybody on the phone.
Wow.
So on Facebook, I used to laugh at my friends. I'm like, before I will know what is happening, some people will just break into my house and get me into the hospital. Yeah, I know I have a nice team. And my life cannot be complete without so many people that have been. I know a lot of people, but I keep some very, very close to me, and it's because there's no way I can survive cancer for 14 years without these people in my life. They've been there, they've been my rock, they've been everything. So I was battling the stomach cancer at the same time with the brain tumor. The brain tumor, we already know, steroids, lifetime. That one, I'm managing it well. If crisis comes, Dr. Kola, he manages me well. With the stomach in 2020, when the whole stomach opened, the holes were now big holes, and if you press it, pus will come out. I was like oozing. I was actually dead but alive because the smell was like, you know how you buy meat, rotten meat, and you now forget it for days. Then when you open, you feel like dying. But that was how I was smelling all the time. And even me, if it's not my body, I don't think I would have been able to take it. And as a single mother, it affected me because I had workers that I had that couldn't even stand me. I had somebody that was in my house. Of course, I let her go. She was in my house and I put her in school here in Gonegora and she stopped greeting me. She was in my daughter's room. She stopped greeting me. My daughter will come to the room. She will stay on my bed. Mommy, what's going on? I'll say, I'm fine today. She'll see me before she goes to school. She'll see me when she comes out. But this girl that was not even my biological child was not even coming to greet me. And when she was asked, she said, because I'm smelling. Yeah. And if I am smelling and it's only my money that you want, money I'm managing, then you need to go back to your family. So I sent her back and decided to just manage my life with my child. And it was after that girl I decided that I will never keep anybody
with you again.
No, it's just me and my child. Let's manage ourselves.
Blood is always blood.
No, if I offend her, I'll beg her for forgiveness. If she offends me, she will do the same. So that was how it was. And we have a policy in Puna Foundation, no matter what, because we started doing things for fighters, raising money. That's the part, you know that part. And then, but we can do that only once in a lifetime for you. We can't do it more than once because there are so many fighters that need help. So in 2019, when I was at my worst, at that time, I started giving up on myself. You know when everything is not working and then other organs are failing and you are
shutting down.
auntie patient, Mrs. Patience Gaya came, Mrs. Dodo. When she came and she was like, "What is wrong?" I just opened myself to her. And then I had gynae problems that I've had for 10 years at that time.
Wow.
Everything just came together, and as if when my body was shutting down, the gynae became times 10, and I was just like all over.
So many things at the same time.
So when she came to me, this was ending of 2019, and she was like, "What is the problem?" I finally opened myself to her for the first time. Yeah, she has been there for me. She has been supportive towards me. But she didn't know the extent. And when I actually dropped the shame, I put everything aside. I now dropped. I
put yourself up to her.
My nakedness to her. She wept in my room. The next day, she started a campaign. She said, "You've been doing campaign for people, and you've been getting money to stay alive, and you've not done campaign for yourself." So herself and my close friends decided to start a cancer campaign, because at that time I needed 17 million naira.
Wow.
To take care of 5 surgeries, including draining my chest and my stomach. There are 7 things in Dubai. And in Methodist Hospital, we had asked, it was like $155,000. So the difference was so much, and even at that, I couldn't afford the 17 million. So I decided to just keep it to myself, and all my immediate family and people knew that I needed the money. But at that time,
everybody had done a lot.
At that time, everybody had. In fact, I bankrupted my family. Let me just tell you that. My immediate younger brother, I finished his money, because anytime I'm sick, he doesn't even think. It's like
he's there for you.
The alert enters. So, and when she came, and I told her, I said, "Look, I've exhausted everything and everybody. I don't want to do this anymore. Not that I want to die. It's just I just want to have peace till I go." She said, "She will not allow me to do that. She will not allow me to do that." She started. We thought about it, that she's going to start a campaign. I said, "No, Mommy, don't do it." She said, we quarreled over it, then she left. The next morning, I woke up to this one. Facebook was, my picture was all over. She started the campaign. And Mommy Dodo's campaign, with my name, I had only 3.5 million. And I needed 17 million. How am I going to get 17 million? I didn't see it. By the time she started it, her campaign on Facebook alone got me over 2 million.
Wow.
And then from her campaign, my friends in Lagos, Comlat friends in Lagos, got the campaign. The 2 gynae surgeries that Mommy Dodo saw that started this whole thing, not even the stomach, it was the gynae that scared her. They paid for the money for the gynae, 2.6 million, 100%.
Wow.
Lagos friends.
Shout out to them.
And then I had my of course, LOSA friends, my lawyer friends, my colleagues and my classmates. They too, they did their own. At the end of the day, I had just 7 million left. And then my doctor was like, "Just come, we'll do something." And then you today. But I got to Dubai, went straight to the hospital. The way they arranged it, the hospital picked me immediately as usual, took me to the hospital. I want to tell you how a doctor that is an Arab, you know how Arabs are, black people, they don't like us so much.
Stay there.
A doctor that is an Arab, by the time we went to find out how much the billing was, they were like, "Talk to Dr. Ahmed. Go to Dr. Ahmed." And I was confused, because usually you just go to the phone and take care of it. I found out that my first surgery was supposed to be on the 3rd of December 2019. I found out that even before I got there, Dr. Ahmed had paid 100%.
Oh my goodness.
So the money I was taking was
this for another thing?
No, it was to him. Because he had paid. They don't do that in the hospital. So this was something that he didn't want to tell me, that he did that for me. So he paid the whole 17,600 that I needed. He paid the hospital. So when I got there with 11 million. So the 11 million was handed over, and then he now taught me how to take care of my billing and all that. He did it because he was raised. Funny enough, he was raised in Houston. He knows my mom's restaurant, Suya Hut in Houston, and he had no idea she was my mom.
Wow.
That because they like spicy meat, they used to go to Suya Hut. So when the other time that we came to take care of the liver, he found out that it was
your mom.
They call her Mama P. He said, "It's Mama P's daughter." He said, "No, I couldn't allow Mama P's daughter to go."
Wow.
So that was how I didn't even know I had that connection with him. I just know that he's a very good doctor. Everybody in my family, my friends, they know him to be a good doctor, but we didn't know that there was something behind, it. And that was how I took care of myself, came back. And then when I came back, my Kunak Foundation volunteers did something again for me. I take care of Kunak Foundation on my own. Most of the bills, like 90%, it's me. They now told me that because of the bill that I had to do to take care of in Dubai, that I should allow them take care of Kunak Foundation till I settled the bill in Dubai. So they also let me, rest on that side. Yeah, on that side. And last year, I struggled so hard. I struggled hard, but by July last year, by June last year, I had finished paying Dr. Ahmed. And then I was thinking, how do I thank my volunteers? Yeah, I know. It's, you have an organization, and then your volunteers that
doing something.
Not that you are paying them. It's their money that they use for transport and other things, and then they are saying no, we take care of. So all the makeovers that you saw for a whole year, it was my volunteers that took care of it. I did nothing.
That's amazing.
So our 15th anniversary was last year, July 18th. And I thought, usually the organization, we cook, we do everything ourselves. I said, this time around, we are going to hire. I want them to dress and come and
enjoy themselves.
And that was how our anniversary was last year. So the journey has not been easy, but I've had some awesome people. The reason why I told my brother here that he should come is one of the reasons why I'm alive today. When some yam heads, like I call them, were trying to kill me, he fought with so many people, and I didn't even know. When I got to find out, it's who fights behind for you.
That is a real person.
She can arrest everything there.
It's been an amazing story time, All the questions I actually have to ask you all, and you answered everything in one whole story. But then, cancer is a battle of life and death. Like we know all, mostly we just say once you have cancer, we just like you are going to die. That's the mentality we have. But then in your case, we saw that couldn't kill you, and that will not even kill you. So what kept you going? What was the motivation? What inspired you to keep going on?
What kept me going? Who motivated me? One, my daughter. As a single mother, you want to do everything to stay alive. Of course, after God, it's my daughter, and then my mom. In everything, Mama P never allowed me to give up. If I told you that I almost gave up one time, that I was down. And when I called her, I was in that spirit. I was down. I was like, hi, the pain is too much, mommy, can't handle it. She was like, I should show her my stomach. I showed her my stomach. She started praying and crying and praying. She said, look, I know the pain is too much, but it's only your body that they are hurting. They can never hurt your mind and your spirit. And she now told me something. She said, I didn't go anywhere to have you. God gave you to me. And if you are having negative thoughts now, I'm not going to be part of that. I cannot be part of that. I need you to stay alive. I want you to stay alive. It is not my job as a mother to bury you. And that kind of kicked me. Then I told you I have 5 awesome friends. Women that if I'm even planning to even think negatively, they will slap it back. Mommy Dodo, number 1, she has been there. I call them my circle. They are the 5 women that I always tell people, if these 5 women tell you something, even if it's negative about me, believe it. Don't even ask questions, because they know me that well. That's Mommy Dodo. Then, of course, Gloria, and Grace Simauta. You have Mary Matthew, and we have Kiana Samira Sali. Those 5 women, they know me very, very well. Then I have my warrior crew, Dogba, Eli Dangana, and Tufe Anthony, and so many other people. But whenever I hear something negative about me, that inspires me to stay here. When people talk negatively about me, I take negativity in a different way, and I talk about it. You know, some people don't understand, or apart from my circle of friends and people that know me, some people don't understand me. When I make a post about, this is what people are saying about me, like the one of 3 days ago, that my cancer is fake. So I said, okay, my cancer is fake, my doctors are fake, my family fake, everybody around me fake, since they are the ones that know me now. And if it's somebody else, the person will be crying, this is what people are saying. You know what I did? I dolled up. I took myself out. I went to a restaurant. I sat down. I ordered for the best food. And that's what I do.
Finish.
No. That's what I do. So it all depends. You know, like negativity, it depends on how you take it.
Yeah.
Me is an energy booster for me. The more they are negative, the more I stay alive. And it's paining them that I'm alive, because they don't expect me. They are expecting me to suffer. They are expecting me to be the babu that they used to see, dying. At the time that I was dying, that's the babu that they expect to see. But I chose to stay. It's my choice.
That is an amazing choice. An amazing choice. You choose to live even when people want you to die. So the decision to live or to die is actually in your hands and in the hands of God. So whatever the negativity may be, channel it to a positive energy around you. Choose to live. Be determined to be happy. Take care of yourself. You owe yourself that responsibility to be alive, to be happy, to be okay. Anything about you, it is you. So no matter what they say, how they say it, where they say it, when they say it, just shut them up. I hope you have enjoyed our story for today. We actually would love to go so far, but due to her health, she can't stay for so long. So people of God, it is nice and beautiful having you all on the show today. Kindly comment in the section box. If you have a question for her, please drop your questions in the question box and we'll definitely answer you. Until then, let's ask her some few questions, 5, maybe 10, or maybe less than 10. 10 very fast questions she's to answer in 3 minutes time. Thank you. What's your favorite food? Favorite color? Favorite outfit? Shoe size? And birthday? I think that'll be all. Favorite outfit?
Favorite food. Are you ready? Oh, really? My favorite food is goulash.
What's goulash?
Okay. It's local rice. Don't put fish, don't put meat. The way gura. Palm oil rice. But if, don't put meat, don't put fish. I'm a local person. I like lansir. You know lansir now?
Yeah.
Okay, new generation. I like local salad. No kuli ba, no cream ba.